Don't forget that this tutorial is part of a series of tutorials which you can access on our YouTube playlist, or alternatively, if you would like to, you can purchase the whole course on Udemy. There should be a link to the YouTube playlist and a link to our Udemy course, which should always provide the best price in the video description. In order for our models to be viewable, accessible within the Django admin site, we're going to need to register our models, and Django provides a handy and simple way to do this. Back within our project, let's take a look at the inventory app. That's the app that we created previously in the focus. So if we go into this app, you can see that in addition to the models file that Django created automatically for us, it has also created an admin file. So let's start off by registering some of these models that we have created. So in the admin file here, if we zoom in a little bit, what we're going to need to do first is bring in the resource. So from .models, that's the models file. We're going to need that information in the models file in order to register these models in the admin. So let's go ahead and import a category, and let's go for product, for example. You can go ahead and import everything. We will be adding to this and working with this admin file through the next couple of tutorials in a slightly different way, but I just want to give you the basics to begin with. So let's import some models that we're going to be using, and then what we need to do is define admin.site.register. And then we just simply define the model that we want to register. We need to do that twice for both category and for the product. Okay, so as soon as we've done that, we can just go back to the admin site, assuming that you are logged in already. If you are not logged in, don't forget you will need to just run the manage.py run server command and then navigate to the link provided. Log in, and then you should be presented with the additional models that we have just registered to the Django admin. Okay, so now we can go ahead and just navigate within the category and product tables. So you can see here I've selected categories. There are currently no categories stored in the database for categories. So I'll go ahead and select add category, and you can see all the fields that have been defined within our Django models. Now this is where the connection to the models and the admin site starts to take place, because we can see what is defined in our models is clearly what we can see here. And Django admin has interpreted those different fields depending on the field type in different ways. So the character field is obviously just a form, input form. The Boolean, we have a button, on and off, true or false, Boolean. And then you can see we have this parent drop down foreign key to represent a category which we want to connect to. So you can see how Django's model has defined certain field types, and then how the Django administration site reads those different field types and then presents them in a different way, depending on the type of data that we're working with. So we can make some customizations within our model to affect how we interact it with the model in the Django administration, as well as add some additional instructions in the admin module, which we'll take a look at in the next couple of tutorials. So I'll go ahead and add. Now remember, the rules that we've defined within our models will be applied. So if there is a mandatory field, it is going to expect a mandatory field when we apply those changes in the Django admin. So let's go ahead and is active. Yep, press save. And there we go. So we have a foreign key here, and it's a required field. Now this is going to cause a problem, because as you can already see, we're saying that this parent is mandatory. Now remember, this is for us to create a hierarchical structure. So we may have a parent category, which is clothes, and then we may have sub or child categories, shoes, clothes, trousers, or whatever, to build that connection through this parent foreign key. Remember, this foreign key is a self foreign key. It's related to another category within the category table. So we can't actually go any further at this point. We're actually locked into nothingness, because we can't relate this to any other category, because we don't actually have any other categories to relate it to. So this is something that we need to change straight away. So let's make that change. Where is it? Come on. Okay. So in the category here, what we need to do is we need to set the parent foreign key to, we need to set that to null equals true. So once that's done, let's not forget we're going to need to migrate. So I've gone ahead and typed in manage.py migrations to make the migration. You can see that we're going to alter the field on the parent field on category to make it null equals true. So I've done that, and then we need to, of course, migrate that change, and then I just need to restart the server. So manage.py run server. So that will run the server again. So I'll go back to the Django admin site. I won't need to log back in. I can just go ahead and press save again. And you'll notice I still have the same problem. Yet we have actually changed at the database level, the fact that this field can be null. And that is the problem. What we've done here is we have only told the database that this field can be null. Now, what we also need to do is tell Django that this field can be null when we enter this data into a form. So having said that, let's go back to our models and let's remind ourselves that we can also add null equals true and blank equals true. Okay, so we don't need to migrate that. This is a Django level instruction. So let's go back to the admin site and let's press save once again. And you can see this time it takes. So we have now created our first category. Well done. And if I go into the category, I can see that I can edit it and save it again. There is a history option here. I can have a look at the history. And then in addition to that, I can go ahead and delete. Yes, I'm sure. And there we go. So you can start to see the restrictions, the capabilities of the Django admin site, at least the default settings. So we're going to take a look at now how to add some additional settings which may be useful for you when you're initially creating your models and you want to start adding and administrating the data in your tables.